Hi and welcome. We're going to be looking at the word recognition portion of the mCLASS assessment. Word recognition measures the ability to accumulate a reading vocabulary of high-frequency words. It is given to you in a form of three lists, list A, B, and C. This is done for reading levels A to reading level E, and it does have assessment materials in your mCLASS assessment kit. Now, word recognition can also be given past these reading levels. It's usually done until the student has mastered all the way up to at least 18 words correct on list C. Now, if a student scores above 18 on a list C at your beginning of the year, then there's no need to re-administer the assessment later on in that year. Here's an example of what the student materials look like. It consists of three 24-item word lists, and the grade determines the starting point. So kindergartners would start on list A, and all other students would start on list B. This is what the actual assessment screen would look like. I'm going to walk through the actual assessment for word recognition. Alright, we're going to look at the word recognition. So I'm going to look under the assessment selection screen for the student. You'll see WR, which stands for word recognition. And then under the correct benchmark period, it will have the blue symbol beside the list in which you should start. Now, this student is above kindergarten, grade 1, so this student is going to start on list B. Had this student been kindergarten, they would have started on list A. So I'll click the blue symbol. It will give me my reminders about word recognition that I should read through prior to the assessment, and then I'm going to click the next button at the bottom right. It will give me my instructions. This is Mr. Say. He will tell you what you should say verbatim to the students. You should not veer from these instructions. You just say exactly what he has printed on the screen. The items in purple font will be actions that you should do or have the students do. So for here, I would read the directions. I'm going to show you some words for you to read, and then I would uncover the word list, and then I would say, what word is this? Pointing to the first word. I'd click begin at the bottom right. And at this point, I've got all of the words. They do 8 words at a time, and then I'm going to mark as the students read. I'm going to mark the green check mark if they get the word correct. I'm going to mark the red X if they get it incorrect, and I'm going to mark the NR if they give me no response, or if you look up here, you have 3 diamonds that are your hesitation marks. If they hesitate for more than 3 seconds, you move them on to the next word and mark NR as the response for that particular word. Once you get down to the end of this page, the blue next button will highlight. You can click that, go on to the next set of 8 words, and you may have to turn the student page as well, and then you're just going to mark these as the student responds, and the blue X will come up again, and you'll have one last list for list B. And if you do make a mistake, you can go back and click the other response in that row. Once you have gone through and you're sure that you have indicated each one of the words in the list as the student responded, you will click done, and it will show you how many words that they got correct in that list. Now, if you look down at the bottom, it will give you instructions on what to do next. This one says continue appropriate word recognition instruction, meaning that they didn't necessarily pass list B, so they may need further instruction on that particular list. However, they did well enough that they don't need to go back and do list A. They just need more practice with list B before they can move on to list C. If you wanted to go back and review the assessment to see what they got right and incorrect and no response, then you just click review and it will show you the assessments and you can flick through that. Now that you've seen word recognition, here are some common scoring rules. If a student self-corrects, then you go back in and you mark that as correct. Remembering how the student articulates certain words within the classroom, you're going to mark them correct if you know that's normally how they would say that particular sound or that particular word within everyday language in the classroom. There is a hesitation rule with word recognition. After 3 seconds, you're going to select NR and point to the next word and say, what word is this? Here's what the results screen looks like. There are currently no cut points for word recognition. They are currently working on developing those. However, the results screen text will guide the teacher to do a couple things. Number one, it will show you how to assess with a less challenging list. So if you look at the results screen and they did not do very well, at the bottom it will indicate if you should go back to the list before. It may indicate that you should assess with a more challenging list, where you see in the second box to the right there where it tells you that you should go on to the next list. It will also indicate whether you should conclude the assessment or whether you should continue appropriate word recognition instruction based on the results that you see. A couple points to remember with this assessment is that word recognition assesses students' ability to read high-frequency words. Word recognition does not yet have established benchmark goals, and you're recording 3-second hesitation as a non-response.